welcome to Sisterhood Connection. This is Michelle.
And Erica, and we are so glad you guys came and tuned in again this week because it's going to be fun. We're talking about bizarre and unique week this week. So things that make you go, So yeah, it's going to be fun. It is really, really, really going to be fun this week. So
Okay, I have one thing. I'm sorry, I have one thing. It literally
what?
just popped into my mind. We haven't even talked about it. Calm down. Please explain to me why a 54-year-old has any interest in a 19-year-old. I'm not speaking any names. I'm just speaking in general of any sex, male or female, that has any interest in a 19-year-old, male or female. What is that about? That would be considered bizarre and unique, even though it's commonplace. That is absolutely insane and unacceptable. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. I am just speaking in general.
Girl,
I just have a question in general.
Spill the tea.
I'm just trying to
You said 54 and 19-year-old?
50-something. I'll say 50-something. I don't know, 54, 55, 50 anything. How about that?
A 19-year-old.
That's a granddaughter age. That's a kid. That's a teenager.
That sounds like Mr. Sharp. I'm just saying. I'm just saying.
Because it literally just popped. When I say right now, at this very moment, it's like,
but here's the thing. Here's the thing. I don't agree with any of it, male, like you said, male or female. I don't agree with any of it. But however, you know how some people get caught up into this midlife crisis thing, want to make sure you still got it, or wait. I've even heard, and I'm just saying, ladies and y'all, I even heard when it comes for men, I've heard, just hearsay, that they prefer younger women because us older, seasoned ladies, we're set in our ways.
So I can mold this one. She's still pliable. I can mold her to however I want her to be. But I'll give you, okay. Even for the benefit of the doubt, for the whole, I'll give you that. I will give you younger. Okay, fine. You going through whatever you do and you want a younger woman, that's for whatever reason, as asinine as that, but whatever. But at what point is it too young?
That's too young. You're talking about somebody that's young enough to be, like you said, your granddaughter. Your kids are older.
That's entirely too young. And it's like, even though you'll have folks that say, oh, back in the day, they married them and they had kids, but that doesn't make it right. That doesn't mean it was right. It doesn't mean it was correct. And then there was one person, I saw one person speak and say, well, she's of legal age.
Doesn't make it right.
I want people, like some men and women, run it through the filter of, if this was my child, would I be okay with it? Would I be like, well, my daughter legal. Oh, my son is legal. He can date that 50-something-year-old woman. I'm just saying. That literally just popped in my head. And you just said, this is going to be a fun week. It's like,
I'm just saying. So you know what? You know that whole sugar baby thing? So you know how they always have daddy.
Yes.
Daddy.
Yeah.
There you go. Now, I don't know too many women in my circle is walking around calling some man daddy. Daddy. They made a song. Didn't they have a song like that? Daddy. I hated it. Oh my, I mean, really? And I guess it's an ego thing, not all men, but for some men. But everybody likes attention of some sort. But come on, people.
Right.
You put things in perspective. You've lived to a certain age. You know what you know. You've experienced some things. You're supposed to be a little more wiser. So to know that this 19-year-old girl who doesn't even know who she is yet, and you're skinning and grinning and all she wants.
You the man. I can still pull him, bro. I can still pull him. You're pulling somebody's granddaughter. You're pulling your granddaughter. That's not a flex. That is not a flex.
I'm going to just say that she just waiting for one moment. And I'm just saying, and I'm going to leave that at that.
How about
so she can cash in?
Now we're going to see what happens in that arena, because that in itself tells you that brain is not fully developed. Because are you going to? Because you thought you were going to cash in. We'll see what happens with that.
We're going to see. I'm just saying. I can remember back in the. Come on. Let's think.
I know where you're going. Let me get in the passenger seat while you drive this. I'm in the passenger seat.
Okay, you might be going a different direction. You might have a better story. I think your story is better than mine. But mine is not even a story. But back when we were coming up, we were always taught and told and believed that, honey, he too old. He got worms.
He got what? Okay, yeah, we were going. We in two different cars. You in the GT.
Okay.
I'm in the
Where
Protege.
you
Okay.
going? Yours sound a lot more better than mine. What?
Back in the day, because you said back in the day, I'm like, yep, you going there. Back in the day.
Back in the day when I sing your song. Back in the day when I was.
Okay. Back high school, you would have older guys pull up to the school and pick them up. The young girls, the teenagers. They had older guys. And of course, older at that time for us was like 20 something. Yeah. And you have the ones that have graduated a couple of years ago. They've been gone 2-3 years and you're coming up to the school. And that was a flex, girl. Yeah, he got me something to eat.
You supposed to be you in high school. You supposed to be in there learning about
on that bus on your way home to go take care of your baby brother. That's what you supposed to be.
I can tell you right here and now, my mama wasn't having that. If you ain't on that bus, I wish you would get in the car with anybody.
Yes. Yes. But I'm just saying, it's just over the years, it has been a continual thing. It has been something that is just, I guess it's not for me to understand. But at what point is too young? Is it just simply once they're not legal, that's too young because you don't want to get in trouble?
Right. But you know what? We don't want to just kind of, just lay all over the men with this.
No,
with this whole younger. Because again, and you did. You did. Because there's some women. I mean, I think we're in the age, and I just saw it posted TikTok, Instagram, something, and I'm like, well, when did I guess I'm out of the auntie stage. I thought I was still an auntie. Nah, we passed auntie. We Thundercats. I'm like, what? Thundercats. And I'm like, what happened to cougars? Is that not a thing anymore?
I guess not.
Now it's like, and I just saw it. It was like somebody posted some crap about between the age of 18 and I'm just making this 18 and 22, 25. You're a sugar. I'm just saying it's sugar baby between 25 and something. In between, So by the time I'm like, well, where's this me?
This me right here.
Still going, never ain't that old. Where's my age? And I'm like, oh, I'm past the auntie. The aunties are now in their 30s, 40s. Those are aunties. I'm like, oh, I thought I was. Okay, so no, man. We're Thundercats. Without whatever.
Don't make okay. I got some. Okay, Thundercats. Anyway, bizarre. Back to that was bizarre to me.
That's bizarre.
Yeah. That's bizarre to me. So we got one bizarre down. So now where we going?
Right. What's you? Now you got all kind of interesting facts. I mean, I have one silly one that just in conversation this week we had, but. Let me do mine first, because coming after yours is like, no. Okay, y'all.
I don't know why she got to act like that. Y'all have these friends that's like, oh, no, I ain't finna fool her. I'm not fooling her because she long-winded. She going to keep going. So, okay, fine.
But this was bizarre. Okay, it's one of those things, again, where it's like, okay, it's bizarre. It is bizarre. But I ain't the only one. I'm not the only one. So this is bizarre. Earlier this week, you have your routine. I get your routine. You get out of bed, you stretch, you go to the bathroom. Everybody does the same thing. So it does the same thing. And when I got ready to wash my face, brush my teeth, so in my toothbrush holder, I just took the top off, the travel one, and I just prop it on top. But I pulled it off to get ready to brush my teeth, and what flies out? Mosquito.
A mosquito.
Which, again, is first thing in the morning. I don't know about y'all. I'm not a big morning person, so of course now I'm really mad. First of all, it's a mosquito. Second of all, what are you doing?
How did you get in my toothbrush? Why? Why are you there? What are you there for?
Right. So now I got a toothbrush, and most households have extra extra toothbrushes. I had to call Michelle. I had to call her.
And these are the kinds of calls. I ain't the only one to get these kinds of calls. Go ahead. Yeah. Go ahead. Just go ahead.
Girl, I'm not the only one, but y'all know. Y'all know when you pull out a fresh toothbrush, you brush your teeth like you ain't never brushed in your life. It's like, honey, you done. Them 2 minutes been over, but it's just something about that new toothbrush.
Yes.
And and now that old one is like, okay, come on, the routine. All right, you know what to do. That new,
I'm fresh. You so fresh and so clean now. You so fresh.
Girl, on the So I had to call her. Girl, I got a new toothbrush. And girl, I love the new toothbrush. But a mosquito, that's just bizarre. I don't know why.
That is very bizarre. That's one thing. I was like, wait a minute. A mosquito?
Mosquito. If anybody else, I will say this, is weird like me because she says I'm a weirdo, and yes, I am, and I own it. I am
Thank
who
you.
I am. But my weirdo, sped weirdo, all of that. For some reason, every time it's time to get a new toothbrush, well, I was forced this time. It's just, it's the
You excited. You excited. It's the new bristles. Yeah.
for about a week, and then it's like, all right, it's like shoes. You see my new shoes? You see my new shoes?
I showed because I showed pulled out some shoes today. I was like, these my
Yes,
shoes. Why are we so excited about the silly stuff? I don't know. It's just
Anyway,
it's the fun stuff. We're not the only
that's
ones.
my
I know we're
little
not.
weirdo, bizarre stuff. But you tell them the real stuff. That's just my
Okay.
little quirky,
Okay,
simple.
listen. Now, for Bizarre and Unique Week, y'all know we try to find just whatever. Because and the sad part is not even sad, but do you know there are like so many bizarre and unique things that we have in this here world? Now, for the United States, this is going to be our first unique. It's not bizarre, but it's unique. The very first coin that was minted for the United States when we were first established in 1787, that coin was a copper penny. And you know how we have on the copper penny, it's like, in God we trust? That wasn't the original wording on the copper penny. That copper penny said, mind your business. It literally said, mind your business. When I
In
tell
God
you,
we
yes,
trust, and up under it, mind you, in God we trust. Wait, in God we trust.
yes,
Mind your business. Let me tell you, if we all did that, boy, this world would be
it will
everybody
be
and everybody's
absolutely.
business. Michelle,
Exactly.
all in Mr. Sharp's business, worrying about his. And again,
I was like, wait a minute. I said, wait a minute. You just all up in this man's business, but then you gonna talk about some. If we just mind our business,
mind our business. I don't care about him. He did what, girl? What she say? He
right.
did the big suit. Yes, but you know what though? Speaking of pennies, and that's our 2 cents.
You better tell them. You better show them. They don't know. They don't even know. They don't know. They finna find out today.
They ain't
Okay.
ready. They ain't ready for us.
They
They
ain't
ain't
ready.
ready.
They better get ready.
So yeah, but they
Just
need to put
saying.
that back. Seriously, they need to put that back.
Yeah, that was
Mind your
fun.
business.
I didn't know that. That was something
I
I
didn't
just
either.
like, really?
Well, who are they talking to? We just started. I mean,
We
it's
just,
like the
but you
country
know
was
what?
just
It was Benjamin Franklin's idea to do it. So I have to find out like what was the point. Like there was something else happening. So it was going
he
on. We're
trying to
just
tell
getting established. Because I
the
guess
British
we're
people.
getting established from the British. Then it would be like, okay, Britain, mind your business. Go ahead on now. We finna do
Well,
our thing.
let me say this: them Native Americans should have told them, y'all mind. Tell you what, we
You
handling this here. We're already settled.
say it
We're
again for
already
the people in
settled.
the back. Say it again for the people in the back.
We already here. We already have our own infrastructure. We already have our
Yep.
own ecosystem. We already have our own political system in
Yep.
place. And here y'all come. I'm just saying.
Yep.
Here y'all come.
You say it,
Mind
honey.
your
Say
business.
it. I
Mind
know
your
that's
business.
right.
You gonna put that back on the penny. That's our 2 cents. Put it back.
Thank you.
Put it
Thank you
back.
very much. Next. Right.
Next. What else you got?
Hold on. Write that down. We're gonna write that down. Oh, she ready.
I'm
She
ready today,
ready.
girl. I'm ready today.
Okay, well, while you write that down, okay, this is another one. So this one is a little bizarre. This one's bizarre.
Okay.
So we have a farmer couple, and they're somewhere in the Asian territories, and they made a silicone mold in the shape of their legs, and they would grow radishes so that they would come out once they are harvesting them. They would come out and be the shapes of their legs. Just saying. Just saying. I don't know. I promise you, the picture is coming. I'm going to have a picture of that. It would literally look like how they did it. That's just, quite bizarre. Who thinks of that?
I don't know, but there's a man. I don't know if he's in the Philippines, Vietnam. He's somewhere in Asia. He grows rice out of his head. He
I know
harvests
you
it.
lying.
I know,
Are
girl.
you
While researching, trying to find something interesting, and I'm like, I don't know much. It's not enough information. But there's a story. This guy, I want to. Let me put it this way: if he's not Asian, because I looked at so much. If he's not Asian, he's Indian, like of India descent. But yes, he grows in his hair. He has rice. Are they stalks? I don't know.
Wow.
Michelle, what do they call the rice field plants?
Rice paddies, rice fields, or rice whatever. I don't know.
Whatever it is in his hair, and he says when it grows to the point where it's ready, he harvests it. harvests the rice and he eats it, and then he keeps growing. And they asked him, well, how do you know when the rice needs water, or how? Because it's literally growing
Right,
in
it's
his head, growing.
Yeah.
And he says whenever his scalp or his head feels dry, he pours water. And I don't know, girl.
We should have led with that one because.
But see, I didn't have enough. I was like, this is just weird.
But right, bizarre, unique.
So y'all need listen, ladies.
I want to know what some people have, some bizarre and unique things. I want somebody to tell us that, like, what are some bizarre and unique things? Because we're finding some good stuff, but you might have some firsthand accounts of some good stuff. I just need to know in the comments. I just need to know. Just saying.
I'll see if I. But yeah, there's a man that he.
Oh yeah, we need that information.
He walk around. Y'all need some rice. You
Right.
got gravy?
I'm like, you just
what you eat?
And rice fall out.
And then he.
Okay.
I don't know if I want it though. I don't know, but okay.
I don't know if I want hair rice, but hey,
where they
it's
eat
good
iguana
for the,
eggs. I mean, you know, hey.
I forgot about you Floridians.
I'm sorry. I can't let that go. That's bizarre, but I'm not letting it go. Anyway, moving on.
It's like I can't. It's just okay. Okay, it's
I'm gonna leave these lizards alone.
Oh,
y'all.
Lord.
It's something in the air because my dog. I don't know why the hubby thought this was because they're men. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I don't know why he thought it was good, but this is bizarre. My dog is a giant schnauzer. He was bred to work. He said, give me a job.
Give me something to do now.
Right. Well, okay, his job around the house is to protect the house and all this good stuff. And he really thinks he's working by chasing lizards. He's a giant schnauzer. He's not that fast. Y'all, he ain't gonna never chase. He's never gonna catch the little lizards, but he tries. Well, a couple of days ago, called, y'all know, if you've never heard of a Jesus lizard, there's some here in Florida. They stand up on their back legs and they run on their back legs. They're not native to Florida, but somebody.
Because don't they have like the little not the pterodactyl, but the little things?
Girl.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, we opened the door. Well, hubby, opened the door and let, Diesel out. And Diesel saw him, chased him, and hemmed up the Jesus lizard. And Jesus lizard is running back and forth across, trying to escape. Then we have a privacy fence. And Diesel just kind of, you know how dogs pounce? Put one arm here and one arm there and trapped him. And I'm like, don't you let him, okay. Well, I thought, he ain't gonna let him get the lizard, which he didn't.
Well, a moment of silence for the lizard. Too bad for the lizard. Next.
One less Jesus lizard in my yard. Sorry, y'all. I don't
right.
Animals. We tried to stop it. We did. But I really didn't think he got to him. But when I went to, he dug a hole. I'm like, I told you about digging. You're trying to get out. You're not getting out. Stop digging. And I go to fill in the hole. And what is hanging off the end of my shovel? I left the shovel, the dog, and everything. And I came on in the house. Anyway, back to bizarre.
Okay. Well, that's bizarre. It may not be unique, but it's bizarre to me.
Me too. Well, okay. I have one. And it's really not bizarre, but it's very, very unique on a more serious note. Not really serious, but this woman, her name is Chow Smith. And y'all, we got to get it together because Miss Chow makes us, girl, we awful, bad. And I don't mean in a good way.
Now, how is Chow making us look? How is Chow making us look bad?
Chow Smith is a Vietnamese-born American woman. She was a child. But she had to leave Vietnam because there was a war going on. And before she left, she also got injured and she has shrapnel in her leg to this day. Oh, wow. But she was able to immigrate to the U.S. And, so she married. And this woman, who is now, I believe, 78, she's around 78, 79 now, but y'all don't know what this lady does. This lady married this guy, which is fine. They've been married for years, and he's 4 years older than she is. Now, I told you she's 78.
So he's early 80s.
Right. He was an avid marathon runner, enthusiast, and all this good stuff. So what she would do is when he would train or when he would go jogging, she would get on her bike, ride behind him, get her exercise in. But she started having back problems and neck problems. I'm pretty sure just leaning over the bike or whatever. So they had recommended her to get surgery and she didn't want to do it. So she, for whatever reason, said, well, I'll just start jogging with him. And she loved it. The lady, kid you not, ran her first marathon at age 46. Her first marathon at 46, which is, not, and it's not old. There's a lot of 40-year-olds that are getting it. So that's not a big deal. The big deal is this lady, there's this thing called, let me make sure I say this correctly, the 777 Quest trip. 777 Quest. It's a 777 Quest, I guess I should say, trip. In 2017, she competed it. She competed at age 70, or she didn't compete. She ran in this marathon at the age of 70. But y'all don't know what this 777 Quest trip is. That means you run 7 marathons on all 7 continents in 7 consecutive days.
No, ma'am. Miss Chow, sit down. What are you doing? Well, you know what? No, don't sit down, but OMG. 7 marathons. 7
continents, including Antarctica.
God.
So she's run, yes. And she's not on any medication. So that's why I'm like, y'all, we got to get together. She's not on any according to her, she's not on any medication. She's ran marathons in all 50 states. This lady is in her 70s.
Well, I guess she does not need to sit down, because if you sit down, you ain't running marathons.
Miss Chow,
wow.
Miss Chow Smith, Miss Smith, I ain't playing. Let me tell y'all. And I thought I was doing something. Girl,
what?
3 miles. I did 3 miles.
I was gonna say. I'm like, oh girl, I did that 5K 4 years ago. I thought you couldn't tell me nothing.
You want to see my T-shirt? It's all faded and everything. And
then I have my little runner's bib, whatever. 7 continents, 7 marathons.
7 continents. Her last, let me get this in 2023. Let me just show y'all. She kept, this lady is amazing. I would love to sit down and talk to her. In 2023, she reached a milestone. I'm not, I don't know much about marathons or anything like that, but her milestone was she secured 6 medals, and it's called the 6 World Marathon Majors. So I guess it's like, for me with tennis, you have the majors, which would be Wimbledon, US Open, French Open, those kind of things. So I guess in the marathon or running, they have the same thing. So she's run medals, which means I guess she placed, not just competed and finished.
Right. She actually placed, right.
In these marathons. So in 2008, she did Chicago Marathon. 2013, she did the Boston. 2018, the New York City. 2021, London. 2022, Berlin. 2023, Tokyo.
Wow.
She's still running. Wow. So, and again, this is soon to be, she's approaching her 80s. And her, y'all,
that boomer is booming, honey. She is not playing.
This what you should be doing while y'all sitting here worrying about Mr. Sharp and his 19.
Yes. This entire episode absolutely coincides. It all culminates with Miss Chow Smith. Mind your business, handle your business. And go do your thing.
I'm saying, and they asked her I was thinking, God, it's got to be tiring to, I'm thinking your knees again, y'all, making your knees, your joints, and all this good stuff. But they asked her what was more difficult, running the marathons or the travel? Because again, you got to think you're constantly moving. And I'm thinking it would be the marathon just with everything on her joints. And she says, no, it's the actual travel, because what I didn't know is, yes, your travel. How can I put this? You got to get to the next destination. So you run that marathon, you head straight to, I'm pretty sure you shower or whatever, and you head straight to your airline, train, or what have you, so you can get to your next destination. And she says during her travel, that's when she would eat. So whether it's commuting to the airport, whatever, that's when she would eat. And she slept whenever she could. She just doesn't get a lot of sleep, because again, by the time you got to get up, time to hit that marathon. Y'all, I can't do it. But Miss Chow Smith, you doing that, girl.
Right. I think that Miss Chow Smith did it. Oh, wow. Yes, she did that. I can't even,
EP can't handle that. Girl, you.
That's what I say. I know my gifts. I know what that is. And that is not one that was gifted for me. Thank you.
3 miles. There you go.
What? And be like, what we eating?
Shoot, I'm about hungry. Come on, let's get to the next one. Let's go.
I'm done. You know what? No, man. Okay, right there. That's a perfect opportunity. Thank you, ladies. We are so glad that you've tuned in this week for Bizarre and Unique Week. And we truly, truly, truly enjoy spending time with you. Yeah, we go get something to eat.
There you go. There you go, girl. We're going to talk about Miss Child. Where's she running at now? Can you give me some
What?
ketchup, please? Thank you.
Okay. And of course, we'll
Yeah.
have all the, all the videos, pictures, or whatever, so you can actually see the kind of stuff
Right.
that's going on in this here
You can
world. There's
see
all
her.
kinds of stuff happening.
Right. She looks good too. I must give it to her. From what I can see, yes.
Goodness
Yes.
gracious. I like that.
Yeah. On that note, we're going to end this because it's getting
We
out
for
of
real.
control.
Yeah, this time we for real. This for real. What we doing next week? Oh, excuse me. Pardon me. Vamp. So what are we into? What are we doing? What are we talking about next week? Ladies, next week, let's talk about how do we take care of ourselves? How do we, vibe with ourselves? What do we do to take care of ourselves? Self-care, how do you spend time with you?
Yeah. And that's what 2020, we said 2025 was all about on a serious note, is getting ourselves, actually, y'all listen, y'all know y'all sick of me. I know y'all sick of me, but if you're not in it now, you will be, especially us that are trying to navigate this perimenopause.
Yeah. Look,
we got to find a way to take care of ourselves because we know right now, honey, y'all, I know y'all all, you don't even know who you are anymore. Stuff just happens.
Right. It's the stuff that's just randomly just pops off. And it's like, where'd that come from?
So
there you go.
On that note, we're going to see y'all next week. Make sure you tune in. Let us know what you do to relax and take care of yourselves and focus on yourselves because we're going to have a nice discussion next week. All right?
Yes, we will. Have a good weekend and a good evening. And we are glad to see you here. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Baby, tell me to go. Me.